Place the crank positioning sensor on a 1998 Honda Civic EX with the D16Y8, but I also believe that the D16Y7 has an identical bottom end, so it should be the exact same process. The tools you will need is a 10 millimeter. You can use one of these speed ratchets or just regular ratchet, a harmonic balancer, pulley, whatever shit that sits inside there, and then a 17 extension, pretty long breaker bar. So first step, what you want to do is make sure you do not lose this key. It costs a lot of money from Honda, and they're really small. So what you want to do is, this will be sitting up here on your crank. Right here, what you want to do is put the tool inside of this slit that sits in here. And what I did was I rested it on my CV axle. So it kind of sat like that. And then I used the 17 on that super long breaker bar to actually break the bolt. And then mine was seized on there a little bit. So what I had to do was actually pull out a puller and slap. Unfortunately, both teeth wouldn't fit on because only half of it is exposed when it's sitting up there. So what I had to do was only throw one on and then put it on the bottom and use the top here kind of as a, as another point of leverage, and then pull it off based off of that. So once you get this off, then you'll move to the timing case cover. And there's going to be 6 bolts on there. Mine only had 4. This one, this one, this one, and this one. And here it is for reference. Once you pull all that off, we'll get into here. Here's your crank positioning sensor. I put mine on. I just did a rebuild and I forgot to put it back on, and I had the engine in and everything and remembered it, so figured I'd make a video on it because everywhere I looked on YouTube and online, no one has good instructions for it, and I wasn't sure if it would clear right here because it's a pretty tight gap. So what you want to do is get a 10 millimeter, unscrew this, and there's 2 notches where it actually sits. Let me just pull it off so I can show you. Let me get this up in there. So it's 10 millimeter. I ended up using, I think, an oil pan bolt for it, but you know, Honda's fucking every 10 millimeter. If it looks kind of like the same length, then it works. So this sits in this notch right here. That bolt goes in there, and then there's a little grommet that slides into your oil pump right there. Another important part is make sure this is not tangled up into your alternator or your belts. And yeah, so that's how you replace it, and then do those steps.